Welcome to the Daily Current Affairs by CivicCentre IAS, where we try to discuss the important articles from the Hindu, the Indian Express and the PIB from the UPSC CSC prelims perspective. Displayed are the list of articles which we are going to discuss in today's video. The first article is from the PIB, which says that the loan limit raised to 20 lakh from 10 lakh under the Pradhan Mudra Yojana. In this context, let us talk about it. See, the Pradhan Mudra Yojana, which was launched on April 8th of 2015, aims to empower non-corporate, non-farm, small and micro enterprises by providing collateral-free loans. Significantly, the scheme promotes financial inclusion and supports marginalized and socio-economically disadvantaged groups to foster entrepreneurship in India. Now, let us look at the recent updates in the budget of 2024-25. Firstly, the loan limit under the PMMY was raised from 10 lakh to 20 lakh, effective from 24th October of 2024. Then a new loan category, Tarun Plus, offers loans between 10 lakh and 20 lakh for those who have successfully repaid the loans under the Tarun category. Furthermore, the Credit Guarantee Fund for the micro units will provide guarantee coverage for these higher loans, reinforcing the government's commitment to supporting small businesses and entrepreneurs. Now, if we have to talk about the Mudra, which stands for Micro Units Development and Refinance Agency Limited, see, the Mudra was established to develop and refinance micro unit enterprises in India. Know that the PMMY loans are offered by various member lending institutions, including scheduled commercial banks, regional rural banks, small finance banks, NBFCs, and MFIs. Then, what are the categories of Mudra loans? Firstly, Sishu, which covers loans up to 50,000. Then Kishore, which covers above 50,000 and up to 5 lakh. Then Tarun, which covers loans about 5 lakh up to 10 lakh. Then Tarun Plus, which is newly introduced for loans above 10 lakh up to 20 lakh, targeted at previous Tarun category borrowers. Furthermore, we have something called as Mudra Card, which provides a flexible, hassle-free working capital arrangement in the form of an overdraft facility. Notably, as a RuPay debit card, it allows borrowers to withdraw cash from ATMs or make purchases at POS machines. Furthermore, the borrowers can repay the amount as cash flow allows, reducing the interest costs. The second article of the day says that the 82nd meeting of the Network Planning Group under the PM Gati Shakti initiative, chaired by Additional Secretary of the Department of Promotion, Industry and Internal Trade, was held on October 24th of 2024 to evaluate the key infrastructure projects across India. In this context, let us talk about PM Gati Shakti. See, launched by the Prime Minister, PM Gati Shakti is a digital platform that brings together 16 ministries, including railways and roadways, to enhance infrastructure connectivity across India. Know that the plan aims to provide integrated, seamless connectivity for the movement of people, goods and services across multiple transport modes, improving last mile connectivity and reducing travel time. Talking about its vision, see, PM Gati Shakti integrates the infrastructure schemes of various ministries and state governments such as Bharatmala, Sagarmala, Inland Waterways, Udan and others. Furthermore, it also covers economic zones like textile clusters, pharmaceutical clusters, defense corridors and industrial corridors. Significantly, the plan uses advanced technology, including spatial planning tools with ISRO imagery developed by BRICS to improve connectivity and make Indian businesses more competitive. Furthermore, there are 6 pillars of PM Gati Shakti. Firstly, comprehensiveness, which means all initiatives from different ministries and departments will be consolidated into one centralized portal, allowing for greater visibility and data sharing during the project planning and execution. Secondly, prioritization, through which cross-sectoral interactions will enable different departments to prioritize the projects more effectively. Thirdly, optimization, which means the National Master Plan will help identify critical gaps and select the most efficient routes for transportation in terms of time and cost. Fourthly, synchronization, which implies that the plan will synchronize the efforts of individual ministries and departments, fostering better coordination and reducing delays. Then the GIS-based spatial planning and analytical tools with 200 plus layers will give executing agencies comprehensive data for better decision making. And lastly, ministries and departments will monitor and visualize the progress of the projects, through satellite imagery and real-time updates, enabling timely interventions and adjustments. If we have to see the outcome we are looking at, PM Gati Shakti aims to streamline infrastructure development in India by enhancing the interdepartmental coordination, ensuring timely execution, and improving efficiency in the infrastructure planning. The third article of the day says that mounting an all-out offensive against the Security and Exchange Board of India, Chairperson Madhabi Buch, the Congress on Tuesday accused Prime Minister Narendra Modi of destroying the SEBI's sanctity and jeopardizing the hard-earned savings of crores of small and medium investors. In this context, let us talk about the Securities and Exchange Board of India. See, SEBI is a statutory body and regulator of the securities market in India. Moreover, its main role is to protect investor interests, promote and regulate the securities market. See, SEBI was initially established in 1988 as a non-statutory body but gained statutory status through the SEBI Act of 1992. If we have to look at the key functions, firstly, SEBI controls the activities of stock exchanges in India. Secondly, it safeguards the rights of investors and ensures their investments are protected. Thirdly, SEBI regulates stock market activities to prevent fraud, ensuring fair market practices. And lastly, it provides educational resources to investors to enhance their knowledge of market operations. Then what about its powers? See, it enforces the rules and regulations to harmonize the statutory regulations and ensure the professional functioning of intermediaries. And then SEBI can investigate market malpractices and take action against the offenders. If we have to look at the SEBI's composition, see, the board consists of a chairman who is to be nominated by the union government and other members including the representatives from the Finance Ministry and the Reserve Bank of India. Know that the headquarters is in Mumbai with regional offices in Ahmedabad, Kolkata, Chennai and Delhi. Then there is something called as the Securities Appellate Tribunal. See, SAT is a separate body established to hear the appeals from the entries aggrieved by the SEBI decisions. Know that it consists of a presiding officer and two other members. The next article says that the Trinamool Congress filed a formal complaint with the Election Commission of India on Tuesday, alleging that Union Home Minister Amit Shah had violated the Model Code of Conduct during the inauguration of a new passenger terminal at the Petropol Land Port on Sunday. In this context, let us talk about the Model Code of Conduct. See, the Model Code of Conduct is a set of guidelines issued by the Election Commission of India to regulate the conduct of political parties and candidates during elections. Furthermore, it ensures free and fair elections by setting standards for campaign activities and polling procedures. Now, if we have to look at the key features of the Model Code of Conduct, see, the objective is to maintain decorum during the elections by preventing misuse of government machinery and ensuring ethical conduct by political parties, candidates, and non-political organizations supporting them. Know that it is applicable during the General, State Assembly, and Legislative Council elections for local bodies, graduates, and teachers' constituencies. Furthermore, it is enforced nationwide during the general elections and state-specific during the Legislative Assembly elections. Know that all the government bodies are bound by the Model Code of Conduct. Know that it begins as soon as the Election Commission announces the election schedule and it ends when the election process is complete and results are declared. Do you think MCC is a law? See, the MCC is a statutory document, meaning it is not enforceable by law, but the violations of some of its provisions can lead to punitive action under other laws like the Indian Penal Code, which is now the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, and the Representation of the People's Act of 1951. If you have to read about the violations under the MCC, you can check out the notes on our Telegram channel. The next article says that while 5 languages were accorded the classical status earlier this month, Maithili, which is a language for which demands have been raised time and again, missed out, as the Bihar government had not forwarded the proposal officially. So, in this context, let us talk about classical languages. So, what will the classical language tag mean for these languages? See, officials say that the broader cultural and academic impact of this designation will extend nationally and internationally. So, the Ministry of Education takes steps to promote classical languages. Notably, 3 central universities were established in 2020 for the promotion of Sanskrit. Firstly, the Central Institute of Classical Tamil was set up in 2008 to facilitate the translation of ancient Tamil texts and offer courses in Tamil. Similar centers of excellence have also been set up for the study of Kannada, Telugu, Malayalam, and Odia. So, when and how did the concept of classical language arise? See, following the demands from various states, the UPA-1 government decided to create a category of Indian languages known as the classical languages and lay down various criteria for this status. Then on October 12th of 2004, Tamil became the first Indian language to receive classical status due to its high antiquity and rich literary tradition. Next, in the following month, the Ministry of Culture set up a linguistic experts committee under the Sahitya Academy to examine the proposals for classical language status from various states and bodies. Then on November 25th, Sanskrit was declared as a classical language. Subsequently, this status was conferred upon Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, and Odia. Then what do you think is the latest criteria for classical languages? So on July 25th this year, the LEC unanimously revised the criteria for classical status. The criteria now includes, firstly, high antiquity of earlier texts and recorded history for over a period of 1500 to 2000 years. Secondly, a body of ancient literature or texts which is considered a heritage by generations of speakers. Thirdly, epigraphic and inscriptional evidence. Then knowledge texts, especially prose texts in addition to poetry. And lastly, that classical languages and literature could be distinct from its current form or could be discontinuous with later forms of its offshoots. The next article says that in a major setback to China's Belt and Road Initiative, Brazil has decided joining Beijing's multi-billion-dollar initiative, becoming the second country after India in the BRICS bloc not to endorse the mega project. In this context, let us talk about BRICS and then about the Belt and Road Initiative. See, BRICS is an acronym for the grouping of the world's leading emerging economies, namely Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Now, if we have to talk about the formation of BRICS, see, the grouping was first informally formed during a meeting of the leaders of Brazil, Russia, India, and China on the sidelines of G8, which is now G7 Outreach Summit in St. Petersburg of Russia. Then in 2008, this was formalized during the first BRICS Foreign Ministers meeting in New York in 2006. Then in 2009, the inaugural BRICS Summit took place in Yekaterinburg of Russia. Next, in the following year of 2010, South Africa joined to form the group known as BRICS. Notably, during the 6th BRICS Summit in Fortaleza, the leaders have signed the agreement establishing the new development bank. Then what about the funding structure? See, currently two entities make up the financial architecture of BRICS, namely the New Development Bank and the Contingent Reserve Arrangement. Significantly, the group was designed to bring together the world's most important developing countries to challenge the political and economic power of the wealthier nations of North America and Western Europe. Know that Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates were invited to become members with effect from 1st January of 2024. Moving on to talk about the Belt and Road Initiative. See, the Belt and Road Initiative represents a multifaceted development strategy aimed at enhancing global connectivity and cooperation. Launched in 2013 and aims to link Southeast Asia, Central Asia, the Gulf region, Africa, and Europe with a network of land and sea routes. Furthermore, the project was named the One Belt One Road, but renamed as the Belt and Road Initiative to convey a more open and inclusive initiative as opposed to a Chinese-dominated one. Know that the initiative includes two principal components, which are the Silk Road Economic Belt and the Maritime Silk Road. The next article says that in a major expansion of the Union government's flagship scheme, the Ayushman Bharat Pradhan MantriJanArogyaYojana, Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday announced the health coverage under the scheme will now be available to all senior citizens aged 70 and above, regardless of their income. In this context, let us talk about Ayushman Bharat. See, Ayushman Bharat, which is a flagship scheme of the Government of India, was launched as recommended by the National Health Policy of 2017 to achieve the vision of universal health coverage. Significantly, this initiative has been designed to meet the Sustainable Development Goals and its underlying commitment, which is to leave no one behind. Furthermore, Ayushman Bharat adopts a continuum of care approach comprising of two interrelated components, which are health and wellness centers and Pradhan Mantri JanArogyaYojana. Now, talking about the Pradhan Mantri JanArogyaYojana, see, Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri JanArogyaYojana is the largest health assurance scheme in the world. Notably, it aims to providing a health coverage of 5 lakh rupees per family per year for secondary and tertiary care hospitalization to over 12 crore poor and vulnerable families from the bottom of 40% of the Indian population. Then what is the eligibility criteria? See, the households included are based on the deprivation and occupational criteria of socio-economic caste census of 2011 for the rural and urban areas respectively. Know that PMJAY was earlier known as the National Health Protection Scheme before being re-christened. So it has subsumed the then existing Rashtriya Swasthya Bima Yojana, which had been launched in the year 2008. Notably, PMJAY is fully funded by the government and cost of implementation is shared between the central and the state governments. Furthermore, it is accessible at public and private empaneled hospitals across India. The next article says that 4 elephants were found dead and 5 in poor health in the Bandhavgarh Tiger Reserve in Madhya Pradesh. In this context, let us talk about the Bandhavgarh Tiger Reserve. See, it is located in the Umeria district of Madhya Pradesh. Know that it is spread over the Vindhya Hills. Notably, it was declared as a national park in the year 1968 and then became a tiger reserve in 1993. Also, it is known for the Royal Bengal tigers. Significantly, the density of the tiger population at the Bandhavgarh Tiger Reserve is the highest known in India as well as in the world also. Furthermore, the national park was former hunting preserve of the Maharaja of Rewa. Talking about its vegetation, it is mostly of dry deciduous type. Then its flora consists of the vegetation of Bandhavgarh, is specifically filled with sal forest in the valleys and bamboo stretches on the lower slopes of the region. Lastly, the important prey species consists of chital, sambar, barking deer, nilgai, chinkara, wild pig, chausingha, langur and rhesus macaque. The last article here talks about the key findings from the Lancet Report on climate change and the health in India. So the annual Lancet Report highlights the increasing health risks associated with climate change, particularly in India where the prolonged exposure to heat poses significant threats to public health. If we look at the heat-related health impacts, so in 2023, every individual in India faced at least 2,400 hours of heat exposure, which could lead to moderate to serious heat-related illnesses. Know that approximately 181 billion potential labor hours were lost due to the heat in previous year, marking a 50% increase from 1990 to 1999 average. Then the recommended interventions are firstly to focus on vulnerable populations to mitigate health risks associated with extreme heat. Secondly, to implement changes in the working hours, especially with outdoor workers to reduce heat exposure. Thirdly, to enhance public health infrastructure to better manage the heat-related health issues. Then to develop and implement cooling strategies tailored to different categories or sectors to protect workers and communities. Lastly, to provide urgent financial assistance for adaptation measures across various sectors to address the impacts of climate change. Talking of the broader health risks, see increased instances of flooding pose additional health risks. Furthermore, the rising vulnerabilities to infectious diseases due to changing climate conditions. Notably, high levels of air pollution are exacerbated by climate change, contributing to various health hazards. So in this video, we have talked about 9 articles in total. We'll be back again with another video tomorrow. Thank you.